Ladies and gentlemen, and esteemed guests, my name is Marla Fernandez, and welcome back to Marla Speaks. The place to be to get positive energy and engagement. I want to talk today about freedom. But first, please comment below and let me know how many of you here watching love freedom. Well, I love freedom too. Let me share my experience of freedom. I'm a first generation American. My parents and grandparents fled Fidel Castro's regime for freedom because freedom was lost. When they moved to America, they never envisioned staying in America for very long. So they raised myself and my brothers in a dual society, in the Cuban culture and the American culture. But that vision of going back home never materialized, because once freedom is gone, it's really hard to get it back. Now let me tell you what freedom means. Again, please comment below and let me know what it means to you. I know many of us have the same definition of freedom. We all want to be free to choose to do what we want to do. We all want to be free to say what we want to say. But let me tell you about some freedom principles that we Americans hold dear. The first principle we hold dear is human equality. And this is best explained by citing the Declaration of Independence. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights, that among those rights are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Right there, you see that we have a right by the Creator to be treated equally based on what you do. You also notice that we have unalienable rights, and some constitutions call it inalienable. And what that means is that they're absolute. And they're given to us by God, not government. Government does not give you rights. We are born with rights. Those are natural rights. Government's purpose is to secure those natural rights, the ones you're born with. Government is supposed to protect those rights, the ones in the Constitution, the rights to life, liberty, and property. Right now, our right to life is not being protected. And the Democrats are calling it the right. I want to give you the right to abortion because you have the right to choose whether to have that baby or not. Well, I'm here to tell you that the government doesn't give you rights. They don't give you a right to kill another human being so that you can have a career. Abortion kills the very life that has started in a woman's body. And what the government is doing is giving you through these groups like Planned Parenthood, groups, they have no rights. They're giving the groups the right to end the very life that the Creator has created inside a woman's body without giving the woman information about that life that's in her body. Many times a woman who hears the heartbeat, like me, when I had my son and I heard the heartbeat, it became real for me. I was like, holy crap, I'm pregnant. There's a life in there, and life starts in the womb, and no one has a right to end that life because that life has a right too. And when you make a determination to end the life that's in your body, you're killing someone else's life that could have been your neighbor. Those are our rights, the ones to life, liberty, and property. And you have the right to your own opinion. And you have the right to choose your destiny. But you don't have the right to end the destiny of someone else. They have a right too. There are two bodies when you're pregnant. With these rights comes self-regulation. Without this, we can hurt people. And we'll need a dictator to rule over us. Our Creator, our founding fathers, meant for a country of literate and moral people. Only literate and moral people have a right to be free. Only literate and moral people have a right to a classical education. Okay, I went on a tangent. But government is limited. And right now, our government is unlimited because we Americans aren't asserting our will on the government. But in a self-regulating society, the closest person to solve the problem is the individual who has the problem, not government. We can all individually solve the problem of crime and homelessness by doing our individual part to help others in society. For example, I'm a homeschool mom. I have a right to raise and train my child. This right is absolute. It's a natural right given to me by the Creator because I carried my child for 9 months. I gave birth to my child. The government doesn't give birth to any child. They don't have a right to raise and train anyone's kids. It is not their kids. It is my kid. My kid is my kid. And he is my duty to raise and train. He is my headache. Yeah, kids can be a headache. I'm sorry, just snorted. Government can't interfere with my right to raise and train my kids, period. And right now, the government is trying to regulate the parents' rights. Our form of government is a constitutional republic. That means that we individuals indirectly consent to be governed by law. So you better know what you're consenting to when you agree and take an oath to be an American citizen. And if you're illegal in this country, know that you're illegal and you're breaking the law. Right there, you're not consenting to abide by our law. We are a sovereign nation, and you need to respect our laws. Yes, if you are a refugee, by law, you can stay as a political asylum. Missed. We have a rule of law. And let me tell you, it took me 30 years to learn what the rule of law meant. Don't ask me why. It just took me 30 years. But that means, the rule of law means that it's a guide for our elected representatives, those elected representatives that individuals vote for, which right now we have no integrity in our election system, and trust has been eroded. Many Americans do not trust our elections anymore. And out here in Colorado, I don't know about any other state, but in Colorado, they just killed a bill that would have put trust back into our election. system. When I ran for office in 2022, my district was divided. Many people felt that Biden didn't win. Many people wanted me to just declare that Biden won. And as a person, a candidate running for elections, I want to listen because I want to know what people are thinking. And if I am nominated again to run for office, I promise with my whole heart to listen to you. I promise to uphold the Constitution and the rule of law, no matter what party you're from. But the rule of law is a check on our elected representatives so they don't interfere with your individual rights. Lastly, we have equal protection. And what that means is that our elected officials must protect each and every one of us who is a legal citizen in America. And they must make laws that aren't going against our rights, our natural rights. They don't give us rights. You don't have a right to abortion because abortion is not a natural right. It's an unnatural right to end another person's life. I am pro-life, but I agree. We still need to protect your freedom of choice. Freedom of choice is different than being pro-abort. When you have a choice, a true choice in the matter, in health, in your health, reproductive rights, you will be informed. And the people that you hire to be your doctors or nurses or hospital will give you the information you need to make a decision for yourself. That is freedom of choice. You have a right to pick without interference from anybody what direction you want to go through. And it's up to you. If you end that life by your own accord, then by ending that life because somebody gave you and manipulated the information that they gave you. The government isn't doing that right now. They're making laws and taking away your property rights. They're making laws and taking away your true liberties. They're making laws and taking away your right to life. Right now, our rights to life are compromised. If you walk into a hospital with a disease or a sickness, because of abortion, a doctor can say, well, she's already lived long enough, she doesn't need to live any longer. It's not anybody's right to end your life, or anybody's life, for that matter. The Creator controls our life. At the end of our life, He decides when it's time to go away from this world. So what I want to leave you with is this. Let's not take freedom for granted. It's a precious gift that requires you to keep watch and work for it, or it will be gone, like the freedom my parents and grandparents had in Cuba. It was gone, poof, like that. And Cuba, let me tell you, has not been free in over 60 years. And it won't be free because it's really hard to be free once your guns are taken away. You have a right to own guns. You have a right to self-defense. It's in our tort laws. If somebody comes to your house with a gun, you have a right to shoot at them. If somebody comes to you with a knife, you have a right to shoot at them, to defend yourself. It is only criminals that can be regulated and stripped of their rights, not law-abiding citizens. If you're a law-abiding citizen, you have a right to be proven innocent until proven guilty. And that means that whatever facts the prosecutor has, they must bring equal evidence for that fact. And the defense must attack those facts with equal evidence and prove that their client is innocent or not. And justice will be served if the evidence so corrupts you. If you're corrupted by the evidence. Well, no, sorry. If the evidence is against you, justice will be served by you going to jail. But if the evidence is corrupted and manipulated, you will go to jail because justice is unjust. When we have people who are liars and thieves and out for their own interest, power and money corrupt. And when you are not a moral person, you are corrupted. And your sin is a sickness. So this is what I urge each and every one of you today, is to take action and speak up and testify in your local school boards, county commissions, and advocate for policies that protect your individual rights. Love individual rights and stand against all government oppression. Love your individual rights. We don't live in a collective society. Groups have no rights in America. Corporations have no rights in America. Only the individuals that create those corporations have a limited right to free speech. But those individuals that create have the full rights if they're law-abiding. Let's start the foundation for freedom by governing yourself and electing people who listen and know what they're doing and are competent at making laws and understand the Constitution. Together, we can make a difference. By electing representatives and listening to who listen to the individuals and they represent no matter what party they serve. The time for action is now. Will you join me in the fight for freedom? And don't forget, get my book, Inside Totalitarianism, Understanding the Anatomy and Physiology from a Cuban Perspective. In here, you will learn what is a tyrannical government, what it looks like, what words they use to take over a country, how they subvert a country. The time is now to learn what communism is. It's in this book. Get it now at Amazon. Thank you very much. I will share the link in the description below and the comments. Thank you. Have a great day. And until next time, let's fight for